Hey y'all, my name is Martin Benson. I'm super excited to be offering this new weekly meditation series on our online platform at Lotus Yoga. We'll be doing a 20-minute guided meditation. Before we begin, if you need to pause the video, take time to grab whatever you need that's going to allow you to sit comfortably today. Ideally, you're seated in this practice. Now, we have different circumstances, and if you know what's best for you is to lay down, that's perfectly fine. But if you can sit, I would invite you to do so. And you can do so on a cushion on the ground. You could even grab a chair to sit in or sit on a block, whatever is going to allow you to be comfortably upright in your practice today. And before I begin our guided meditation, I just want to prime our meditation today by talking a little bit about this aspect I want us to focus on today. I find in my own practice over time there was a point in my practice where I started to get a little rigid, sort of militant about it, right? Like this sort of stiff quality was there. It didn't feel as fluid or open as it had been. And I found that came from this sort of striving mentality, this sort of achieving mentality, like I have to achieve this or do this really strongly or perfectly. And I found when I started to shift my focus in my practice toward an attitude of equanimity, I found that a total sort of opening happened where there was more fluidity and freedom within my meditation, more of this calmness that allowed me to really see more clearly. When I think about the qualities of equanimity and how they can contribute to my life, what they've allowed me to do is in the world, in this tumultuous world we live in, especially during these times, but really in all times, it's no different. The world is changing all the time. There's stress. There's all these things that no matter what the circumstances, we just won't get rid of. But we can change our attitude, what we bring to them. And I find that when I bring this quality of equanimity into my life, I'm able to really see a lot more clearly. Things look brighter, things look crisper. My mind works a little slower so I can notice what's happening. And this attitude really comes from not only the physical part of myself, but also the mental and emotional. So 3 ways of thinking about equanimity when you practice is first feeling into your body and noticing where you're holding tension. A lot of times it's the jaws or the shoulders. It can be in the hips or the knees. Sometimes it can be very, very subtle. And when we notice where we might be resisting gravity or holding tension in our body, if we can consciously let go and let the body become as relaxed as possible in our practice, it's going to help us sit for a longer period of time, but also give our body more freedom, the energy to feel other things that are happening. And so when you're seated, think about being supported, being upright, but not being stern about it, like having this sort of relaxed uprightness, right? You want to use the minimal amount of effort possible to keep the spine nice and upright. And then I think about equanimity in the mind. So we have so many thoughts going through our minds all the time. I don't care if you've been meditating for 100 years or a day. Everyone has thoughts that stream through their mind. The difference is the kind of attitude that we bring to those thoughts. And a lot of times we're either really attached to a thought stream where we just run it through our head over and over and over and over again, or we get real excited about it. And then we have this sort of repulsion quality, like wanting to push away, like don't think that, don't feel that, right? Like get everything out. And equanimity invites us, this quality invites us to find the center point between those two extremes, between attraction and aversion, right? To not want to pull things in and not want to push them away. And we find this neutral territory in the center where we can be relaxed and we can allow whatever arises to arise. There's more freedom that happens there too. So we get more freedom in the body, we get a little more freedom, a little more spaciousness in the mind. And the same thing comes for emotions, because no matter how much you practice or how long you've been practicing, emotions arise. And sometimes it just seems to come out of nowhere. And so when the emotions arise, emotions have so much power and strength, they can sweep us away really quick to where we get into the aversion and attraction, when we start holding tension in our body. It's all sort of connected in this loop. And so I invite you, if emotions arise, to investigate them. to really see them, to really feel them, to not try to suppress them, but to let them take over your body, but in a way where you have this sort of curious attention to it, no matter what the emotion is, positive or negative, but to investigate and get to know it better. And so equanimity is a quality and attitude that I feel allows me to take on these sort of the body, the emotions, the mind, in a way that is more harmonious with what's actually happening. And so first, let's begin with our nice comfortable seat. Set your posture up well. If you're sitting cross-legged, it's nice to have 3 points of contact, your knees and then your hips. So you're almost creating this pyramid-like structure in your body that's supported. If you're seated on a chair, make sure your feet are firmly planted on the ground. You can rest your hands on top of your knees. You're sitting away from the back of a chair, so you don't want to lean or slouch into the back, but you want to be nice and upright, usually sitting more towards the edge. And if you're laying on the ground, just make sure you're nice and supported. Make sure your neck and head supported in a way that will allow you to be comfortable. And you can take any mudra that you'd like. So you can place your hands on your knees, palms down, face up. You can just clasp your hands, place them in your lap. And just begin by allowing the body to sit a little deeper into your seat. And then from that rootedness, see if you can lift the heart up just a little bit. Remember not being rigid. You can close the eyes or just keep them sort of softly gazing out in front of you. And just begin to feel your breathing. And today, focus your attention on your breath right at the navel. And just feel your belly expand and contract. And just watching the rising and falling of the breath. Bring your awareness to the muscles in your face. Begin letting go of some tension. So we'll begin our practice by finding some equanimity in the body, some calmness. We'll just do a quick body scan so we can pick up on where we might be holding some tension and we can consciously let go of it. So begin by bringing all of your awareness to the very top of your head. And just feel that space up there right at the crown of the head. Just very slowly guide your awareness down into your forehead. Relax the skin on the forehead. Muscles in the face. Unhinge the jaw. Allow there to be a space between the upper and bottom row of teeth. And place your tongue right behind the top row of teeth, just resting there on the upper palate. Bring your awareness down to the throat, collarbones, the shoulders. See if you can let gravity kind of pull your shoulders away from your ears so your neck feels just slightly longer. Bring your awareness down your arms. Soften your elbows. All the way down to the hands. And we're just feeling these parts of the body right now, investigating noticing if we feel any tension, any resistance. See if we can soften those spaces. Bring your awareness to the chest and circulate your awareness around your torso, so moving from your chest around to your back, around the side bodies, the rib cage, down into the lower back and the belly, and just have this soft quality there in the belly, watching it rise and fall. Inhaling and exhaling. Bring your awareness down into your hips, to the groins. See if you can soften there as well. Just letting gravity kind of pull the weight of your legs downward. Bring your awareness into your knees, down the shins, into the ankles and the feet. So just focusing our attention on the inhale and exhale. And then the periphery, just feeling our body in the room that we're in. Getting a sense of your own presence right here, right now. How relaxed can you be in your body while maintaining your posture? As we become more quiet in our practice, the mind will become louder. If you notice your thoughts, see if you can find this spaciousness in between the extremes of reaction. No need to push them away. No need to entertain them either. Just this neutral space where you can be a witness to whatever arises. As best as you can, just be focused on the way the breath moves through you. So not breathing in a particular rhythm or pattern, but just noticing the natural inclination for the breath to enter and exit your own body. And to allow that process to happen in the most natural way possible. And although our concentration is focused on our breathing, allow all your senses to be open to receive whatever is happening around you. Whatever sounds or smells or sensations. Just be aware of what's here with you. Just breathing in and breathing out, watching your belly rise and fall. Feeling your body against the ground. Communing with your own presence and its relationship to the presence of everything that's happening around you and inside of you. Just accepting whatever's here, good or bad, easy or hard, light or heavy. With serenity and calmness, just witness. If there's a judgment that arises, there's a judgment. Let it be. Don't be attached. Notice and return to your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Returning to our breath every time we notice we've been distracted, we've gotten stuck onto some thoughts. The moment you notice you're drifting into thinking, into fantasy, into rumination, into worry, just come back to your belly. Feel your breath. Feel your aliveness. And just give yourself permission to do nothing at all, but just sit. Just peacefully and simply being alive. Resting in your own awareness of what's happening right here. Continue to consciously relax your body. Watching tension arise and disappear. Notice you're caught in thinking. Come back to your breathing. Let go of all judgments, expectations, attachments, aversions. Just be here. Let your whole mind and body be a beacon of calmness, of clarity. If you begin noticing any discomfort in your body, before reacting to it, investigate. Bring your awareness into those spaces and just see if you can consciously let go of anything you're clinging to. Bring your awareness to whatever's there and just allow it for at least a moment before having to make any changes. And just letting your breath be your guide. Allow your inhale to fill you with that equanimity. And allow your exhale to spread it out beyond the confines of your own body into the world. Become a beacon of peacefulness. Energy of peacefulness has nothing to do with what's happening in your mind. It only has to do with the attitude that you bring to what's happening. And I invite you to bring this attitude of allowing, of accepting. See if you can relax even more deeply into your seat, into the earth, letting the ground support you. Breathing in and breathing out. judging, no clinging, just being. Just letting go into this moment. Very slowly begin wiggling your fingers, your toes. You can flutter your eyes open. Maybe roll the head around in one direction and the other. And just take in the room. Take in your surroundings. Maybe smile. I invite you today to see if you can bring this attitude of equanimity that we just spent 20 minutes cultivating. See what it's like to bring it into the activities that you do. See what it's like when you step back from the attachment, from the aversion, and step into just being present with what's here and bringing your calm self to that. Thank you so much. See you next week.